Have you ever felt completely lost in the sneaker culture, like you're missing out on something huge? It can be overwhelming with so many styles, trends, and communities out there. Well, buckle up because we're about to take a worldwide tour of sneaker hotspots across the globe. By the end of this video, you'll be a certified sneaker culture tourist. Let's kick things off in the good old USA, the birthplace of modern sneaker culture. Here, sneakers aren't just shoes, they're a way of life. From the streets of New York to the beaches of LA, Americans take their kicks seriously. It all started with basketball shoes in the 1970s and 80s. Remember when Michael Jordan first rocked those Air Jordans? It was like the sneakers equivalent of landing on the moon. In the USA, sneaker culture is deeply intertwined with hip-hop and street culture. It's not just about what you wear on your feet, it's about your whole vibe. You've got sneakerheads camping out for days just to get their hands on the latest release. It's like Black Friday, but instead of fighting over TVs, people are throwing down for the freshest kicks. Now let's hop across the pond to the UK. British sneaker culture has its own unique flavor, blending American influences with their own street style. In the UK, they don't call them sneakers, they're trainers, mate. And let me tell you, they take their trainers as seriously as they take their tea. The UK sneaker scene is heavily influenced by football, that's soccer for Americans, and music subcultures like grime and garage. Brands like Reebok and Adidas have a special place in British hearts. It's like these brands are unofficial members of the royal family or something, I don't know. Speaking of royalty, let's jet over to Japan, the kingdom of sneaker collectors. Japanese sneakerheads take things to a whole new level. We're talking about people with collections so vast and rare they'd make even the most hardcore American collectors jaw drop. In Japan, it's all about the limited edition and collaboration. They've got sneaker stores that look more like art galleries than shoe shops. And don't even get me started on the resale market there. Some of these rare sneakers are priced like small cars. It's like they're trading sneakers instead of stocks. It's not just about collecting in Japan. They've got this amazing ability to blend high fashion with street style. You'll see people rocking the latest Yeezys with a traditional kimono. It's like they're living in 3024, while the rest of us are stuck in 2024. Now let's slide into Germany, where sneaker culture has a fascinating twist. The Germans love their sneakers, but they've got a special place in their hearts for retro runners. Brands like Adidas and Puma, both born in Germany, are like national treasures. In Germany, sneaker culture is less about the hype and more about quality and heritage. It's like they approach their sneakers the same way they approach their cars, with precision engineering and a respect for tradition. But don't think it's all serious business. They know how to party too, with sneaker conventions that are part trade shows, part festival, and all awesome. Let's bounce over to Brazil, where sneaker culture is as vibrant as their carnival. In Brazil, sneakers aren't just fashion, they're a symbol of status and identity. With a huge gap between rich and poor, owning a pair of fresh kicks can be a big deal. Brazilian sneakerheads have a special love for basketball shoes, especially anything related to their national hero, Neymar. It's like every time Neymar steps onto the field, 1,000 sneakerheads in Brazil get their wings, or should I say, their new kicks. Now, hold on to your laces as we zoom into China, the sleeping giant of sneaker culture that's now wide awake and running full speed ahead. The sneaker scene in China has exploded in recent years. With the market so huge, it makes other countries look like mom-and-pop shops. Chinese sneakerheads are all about the latest trends and the hottest brands. Here's the twist. They're also super proud of their own homegrown brands. Li-Ning, a Chinese sportswear company, has gone from who to wow on the global stage. It's like watching the underdog in a sport movie suddenly become the champion. And let's talk about the Chinese resale market. It's so big and complex that it makes the New York Stock Exchange look like a kid's lemonade stand. They've got apps and platforms dedicated solely to buying, selling, and trading sneakers. It's like they created a whole parallel economy based on fresh kicks. Now, let's take a quick detour to South Korea, where sneaker culture meets K-pop style. In Korea, it's all about looking fresh from head to toe, and sneakers play a huge role in that. Korean celebrities and K-pop stars have a massive influence on sneaker trends. When a K-pop idol wears a certain sneakers in a music video, you can bet your bottom dollar that it will sell out faster that you can say Gangnam Style. It's not just about following trends in Korea. They've got this incredible knack for mixing high-end fashion with streetwear, creating looks that are totally unique. It's like they've taken the best of all worlds and created their own unique universe. Let's sprint over to France, where haute couture met street style in the most fabulous way possible. The French have this amazing ability to make sneakers look chic. They'll pair limited edition Jordan with a Chanel suit and somehow make it look like the most natural thing in the world. In France, sneaker culture is all about the je ne sais quoi. It's not just about what you wear, but how do you wear. They've got this effortless cool that makes even the most hyped sneakers look like they just threw them on without a second thought. It's enough to give you a serious case of fresh envy. Now, let's take a quick pit stop in Australia, where sneaker culture has a laid-back vibe that's as chill as a kangaroo in the shade. Aussies love their sneakers, but they're not about to lose their cool over them. They've got a great appreciation for both international brands and their own homegrown labels. In Australia, sneaker culture is heavily influenced by skate and surf culture. You'll see a lot of Vans and Converse, mixed in with the latest hype releases. It's like they've taken the best of California style and given it their own down-under twist. Let's zoom over to Russia, where sneaker culture has emerged from the shadows of the Cold War era to become a booming scene. Russian sneakerheads are all about standing out in a crowd. They love bold designs and aren't afraid to make a statement with their kicks. The interesting thing about Russian sneaker culture is how it's evolved. During the Soviet era, sneakers from the West were rare and highly coveted. Now, Russia has its own thriving sneaker community, with local brands mixing up with international heavyweights. It's like watching a sneaker renaissance in real time. Now, let's take a quick trip to the Middle East, where sneaker culture is booming faster than you can say oil money. In places like Dubai, sneakers have become a major status symbol. We're talking about people buying sneakers like they're investing in gold. The sneaker scene in the Middle East is all about luxury and exclusivity. Limited edition, special collaborations, they are all over it. It's like they've taken the concept of go big or go home and applied it to their sneaker collections. Let's not forget about Africa, where sneaker culture is as diverse as the continent itself. In countries like South Africa and Nigeria, sneakers are more than just fashion. They're a form of self-expression and cultural pride. African sneakerheads are creating their own unique style, blending international brands with local designs and traditional patterns. It's like they're writing their own chapter in the global sneaker story. And let me tell you, it's a page-turner. As we wrap up our world tour of sneaker culture, one thing becomes clear. Sneakers have become a universal language. No matter where you go, from the streets of New York to the markets of Tokyo, a fresh pair of kicks is understood and appreciated. But here's the beautiful thing. While sneaker culture is global, it's also incredibly local. Each country, each city puts its own spin on things. It's like a giant worldwide game of telephone. But instead of words, we're passing along styles and trends. So, what have you learned from our sneaker culture world tour? Well, for one, no matter where you are in the world, there's probably someone nearby obsessing over their sneaker collection, like me. Whether you're a collector in Japan, a reseller in China, a fashion-forward sneakerhead in France, or just someone who appreciates a fresh pair of kicks, you're part of the global community. And we all sneakerheads love you. That's the end. Don't forget to subscribe, broski.